randomly severed wires are never a good thing. But never fear, butt connectors are here. But before we use these, why don't you come with me to a festival? Hi, I'm Russ. I'm rebuilding a 1977 Mobile Traveler motorhome. This is all about the MT and me. It is a beautiful autumn day in South Arkansas, and it's a beautiful festival day as well. The 44th annual Wiggins Cabin Festival. We're going to share some highlights of it with you right here on the MT and Me. Things are just getting set up and started right now. We've got, I think, over 60 arts and craft vendors on hand. More are setting up every moment. There's probably 15 or 20 food vendors on hand. We're going to have a pageant, the Little Mr. and Miss pageant, some special entertainment, and all kinds of great stuff going on. Oh yeah, and I mentioned dragon boat races. You don't know what a dragon boat is? I'll explain a little later on, okay? So, it's going to be a wonderful fall festival here in South Arkansas. We're going to share some highlights with you right here on the MT and Me.
Watchtower River merch over to the left. This is my left. Come see me over there.
Stevie, Gypsy, and Little Bell.
Like we said, these dragon boats are 35-foot boats with a crew of 10 oars people and one drummer to keep the beat while they race. Watching two boats come racing straight towards us from our standpoint here. I'm not sure what teams we are racing at this point. One of the teams was the Hamburg Girls. I'm not sure exactly what the other team was. But they're going to kind of cruise by us here now and give us a pretty good look at these dragon boats, which are really neat because they actually have a dragon on them. That's why they call them a dragon boat. That's why they call them a dragon boat, because they got a little dragon on the front and a dragon's tail on the back. But these are neat. And that is one happy team there now, too. The oars person, by the way, the person in the back that's actually steering, hey, they're a professional. Because we have to have at least one certified professional on board, and that's the professional. It was a lot of fun. Just a near perfect day to have a festival here in the Mid-South. Now, before we get to Pearl's electrical system today, let me give you an update on the front of her engine. Basically, all I can say is she is looking good. The Russ converter that we put on has definitely done the trick. All of our surfaces are coated, protected. They just look like new. I mean, if you can check the before videos, we had surface rust on everything here. All of our pulleys, our mountings, and they were all gunked up just with grease and dirt. Well, we scraped all that off, gave it a good coat of Rustzilla. It's been drying now for, well, I don't know, about 4 days, I guess. And this is what it looks like. Now, there's a couple of places I think I'll come back and maybe do a little bit of additional coating. And I still need to see about getting some on the back surfaces here because I really haven't treated them yet. But other than that, and getting a little bit more inside the vibration dampener here, I think we're in pretty good shape. Now the next thing we'll do is look for spots on the engine itself, on the engine block, also on top on the manifold. There's a few places that I think might need a little touch up and a little bit of rust treatment just to be safe. But as for the front of the motor, I am very well pleased with how this has turned out so far. Well, we moved from the front of the engine to the top of the engine compartment. Let's get back to this wiring problem that we have. I told you at the beginning of the video that randomly snipped wires are never a good thing. And that's exactly what's happened here with Pearl. You see, while she was sitting for years basically abandoned on a downtown lot in eastern Nebraska, after a while, somebody came along and swiped her battery. Probably the same person that got the air cleaner and carburetor as well. Well, when they swiped the battery, they were in a bit of a hurry, apparently. So they just randomly snipped the wires with some wire cutters, yanked that battery out, and made a fast getaway. So I've got a bunch of cut wires here. Now, the big problem is there's this one cable with 5 wires in it that really doesn't go to the battery. I don't know why they cut it, unless maybe it was in the way, or maybe they just got confused, or maybe they just got a little cut happy. I'm not sure. But anyway, they snipped it too. And it's got to be reconnected. I know where those wires go. The 2 main battery cables have been cut, so I can replace them. I know where they go to the starter and to the engine block. That's not a problem. There's about 2 or 3 other wires, though, that have been cut that I really don't know what they are, where they go, or where they attached. I'm kind of assuming they both probably went to the positive post on the battery, but I'm not sure. So when we get to that point, it's just going to kind of be, well, let's hook it up here and see what happens, you know. But I'm not worried about that for now. These 5 wires that were snipped go to a plug that's over here, and we have to take it off and reconnect all those wires. And that is the assembly that we're going to work on today. So, we have wire crimps, we have butt connectors, and we have quite a few severed wires to put back together. Let me show you how we're going to do this. Let's take one wire, white one, chosen at random, and we're going to strip it. Now this should be 18 gauge wire, or close to it. That's what we're going to guess at anyway. So, Give it a chance to cut through the insulation. Whoa! And with a bang, we pull it off the wire. But there we are. Now the wire is exposed. Okay. Now we take a butt connector, slide the wire up in there, now make sure all the straight wires, this is stranded wires, so we don't want any little stray hairs sticking out. Alright, put the wire up in there, be sure it's firmly seated in the middle part of the connector. Take the crimping tool, put it on the spot, and squeeze hard. Now, the wire's in there. Now we'll come back later with a heat gun and heat up this part. This is the heat shrinkable area. It will shrink down to fit the wire, and we'll have a nice fully sealed connection. So as you can probably figure out, what we've got to do is get this over there to hook it to that white wire. To do that, we're just going to get a screwdriver and take this plug completely out, because that way we can access all these wires and reconnect all the rest of them. At least I hope we can. Okay, 5 wires here, 5 wires here. A couple of them are going to be kind of a tight fit, but I think if we take care and take our time, we'll be able to get it. Let's start with the white one, see what we can do. You know what? I think in the case of this plug, it's going to be easier to go ahead and strip all of these and then reconnect them. Because with one connected, it might get a little bit awkward. So I'm really glad I thought of that before I got too deep into this job. That's not characteristic of me, thinking ahead. So put one in my column. Let's hope the luck continues, okay? Okay, that has all these wires stripped. So I'm thinking, here again, trying to think ahead. Let's go ahead and put the butt connectors on this and then attach them to our free hanging wire. Now I realize I already have one on the wide wire, so we're going to have to do that one the other way around. But we'll just keep it to one side here. There's the white one. We won't mess with it. But we got red, green, brown, maybe? And this one appears to be black with a yellow stripe. Which, yes, reminds me of a scene in The Abyss that we're not going to go into right now. But another movie reference. Yes, something about cut the blue wire with, no, you cut the black wire with the white stripe, don't cut the blue wire with the yellow stripe. But a couple of miles underwater here, and they both look exactly the same. So watch the movie, you'll catch it. But anyway, this is a black wire with a yellow stripe. So I guess it would look just like the other two in the movie. Never mind. Let's put some connectors on. kind of worries me because it's so short and there's just not a lot of wire there. Let's see what we can do with this. It's literally going to be right up against the rubber gasket here. All right, maybe we have a connection. There's 4. Here's my white wire. Now we just have to get this attached to this. First though, we got to finish stripping these wires off. Not quite as tense here because, well, I have more wire to deal with and a little easier access too. All right, that's got them all here and all here. Now we just have to put the two together. I'm just not sure where to start. Pick a wire. I guess since we started with the white, and it's kind of the oddball, let's do that one first. See what happens. Whoops. Didn't grab it. Think I can still get the wire in it though. Maybe. Tell you what, I'm going to take a chance, see if I can pull this off. Which I may not be able to do. I can cut the wire, but I don't really want to if I can avoid it. I don't think I'm going to get it off. Okay, let's wait on the white one, see if we can get some of the other ones done. That one may just be problematic. I hope so anyway. Let's see what we can do. This is the infamous black with the yellow stripe. I want to be sure and get that one right, or this whole thing may blow up. Again, watch the movie. Now, flip that, I can tell right away. Okay. Now, I thought the black one was going to be a problem. I think what I'm going to have to do, if I can't pull this off, I'm just going to have to cut the wire, put it on this one, and then connect this. Alright, I got that quite easily. Now we're going in from the top. Well, I think that has all the connections made. They may not be the best and tightest in the world, but I'm not going to push my luck. I'm going to get this screw back in place, which I should have left it there, I guess. These are things you figure out after you. If that thing come loose again, I'll be darned. Okay. This white wire is being very problematic. Please know that I did not anticipate this much trouble. But then again, you never do you? And I discovered working on Pearl is kind of that way. You need to expect the unexpected. She is an old girl. That's not so much of a problem as the fact, there we are, she's been setting up for so long. And she was vandalized, so. Anyway, I have plenty of these butt connectors. I'm not worried about running out of them, but I am worried about running out of wire here if I don't get a connection this time around. So, fingers crossed. I'll cross the other ones too. Let's hope this works. Finally. Let's put this puppy back on before it has time to change its mind again. If I have any Dodge mechanics watching, please comment below. Let me know about this wiring. Sure, I'm not ready to put a battery in it yet, but that time is fast approaching. And like I said earlier, it's just going to be hit or miss if I can't figure something out. I have the wiring diagrams to the van, the basic factory wiring diagrams. They came in my service manual that I have. So I'll be looking at them and trying to figure out a little bit too, just see if I can trace some of these wires down. But for today, we got that one 5-wire connector repaired. I hope those connections are good. It's back in place, and we can worry about these others later on. I need to go ahead and order my battery cables and get those put in before I go too much further in putting the engine back together, because they have to attach one to the starter and the other goes on the engine block on the front, and I don't want to get everything back on the front of the engine and then go, oh no, I didn't do that battery cable. See, thinking ahead here again. I'm really trying to do this. Something that I haven't done for much of my life, so cut me some slack, okay? So, well, boys and girls, that's going to do it for today. I think I've gotten enough frustration and pinched my fingers enough with pliers to call it an evening. Plus, you can probably see the sun is setting in the west behind me, and that means once again we find ourselves running out of daylight. And we're out of time for this week's video as well. So, thank you once again for joining us. Once again, if you do have some ideas about these wires, then please let me know. Send me a comment below, okay? Also below you find a link where you can buy a coffee and help with the Pearl Restoration Project. And there are also links to themtandme.com, where there's lots more information and history on mobile traveler motorhomes. Pretty interesting stuff. Also links to all the videos are there too, so check, well, maybe not the last few videos, so I got to catch up on that, but all the old stuff, the library is there in case you want to check those out, okay? themtandme.com. Also follow us on Facebook at the MT and Me, and follow us right here next week for another exciting episode of What's He Gonna Do to Pearl This Time? Till then, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up and a like and share this video. And stay with me on the MT and Me. I'm Russ. We will talk later. Hey. I only wasted 3 of these. Good thing I bought 200, because by the time this project's over, I just may use them all. Yeah.